So we all remember how Batista quit WWE back in 2010, right? Well, do you know that he was imposed with a really hefty fine nearly 2 years before that left him with a sour taste for the company? Well, he faced the wrath of Vince McMahon for going off script, just like several other WWE superstars have done in the past. I'm Rick Ucchino. Let's check them out. Here are 5 WWE superstars who were reportedly punished for going off script. Number 5, Big Cass. Big Cass's WWE career ended in controversial fashion, just as it seemed like it was about to get going. About roughly 10 years ago, back in 2018, Big Cass kicked off a feud with Daniel Bryan just weeks after the former world champion came out of retirement. In the lead up to their match at Backlash that year, Big Cass was booked into a segment on the go-home edition of SmackDown with a little person imposter dressed up as Daniel Bryan. Cass was directed to hit a big boot on little D-Bry and no more. Apparently feeling that the angle was a little soft, Cass asked both the producers backstage and Vince McMahon himself if he could take the attack further. Both times, he was told no. However, when the time came for the segment, Cass hit the big boot and went out on his own to throw multiple punches at the guy as well. Vince McMahon reportedly was furious, and Cass believes that segment turned out to be the final straw that led to his release from the WWE just a few weeks later. There's an old saying that comes to mind here: better to ask for forgiveness than permission. And it turns out, if you ask for permission and it's not granted, don't do it anyway. Number 4, Daniel Puder. You might be thinking, who? Well, back in 2004, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle challenged the band of tough enough rookies to a squat thrust competition. Now, Chris Naraki emerged victorious in the end, and he got a match with Angle. Unfortunately for Naraki, Angle ended up breaking his ribs during that fight, and fellow tough enough contestant Daniel Puder was not happy about it one bit. When it came time for Puder's turn to step into the ring with Angle, he decided he was going to teach him a lesson and legitimately locked the former WWE champion in a Kimura lock. The official realized quickly what was happening and made an awkward 3 count to give Angle a victory. The Olympic gold medalist looked visibly frustrated at Puder's actions, and he would pay for it later. When Puder entered the 2005 Royal Rumble, he was given the beating of his life by the trio of Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Hardcore Holly. The 3 superstars hit him with a series of hard chest chops, and once they had their fun, threw him out of the match. He never again competed on the main roster and was let go months later. Number 3, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Yeah, we're considering both men as a unit here since they were a tag team back then. The incident in question happened in late 2017 while WWE was on a UK tour. During an episode of SmackDown, Owens and Zayn were involved in a segment with The New Day and Shane McMahon. Now, the original script called for Owens and Zayn to put over The New Day by taking a beating at the hands of the trio and then fleeing the scene. This sequence was written to make The New Day look strong on the road to Survivor Series, where they were set to take on The Shield in an interpromotional matchup. KO and Zayn, instead of taking that beatdown though, left the ring, leading to a pretty awkward visual. The 2 superstars reportedly received major heat following that incident and were sent home as punishment for their deeds. Many believed at the time that Vince McMahon was going to suspend the duo, but they were back on TV the very next week. Number 2, the aforementioned Batista. The year was 2008, and Dave Batista was a mainstay on Raw. The Animal was involved in a very heated feud with Chris Jericho at the time, and the duo faced off in a steel cage match on the November 3rd episode of Monday Night Raw with the World Championship on the line. And things really didn't go down according to the way Vince McMahon had planned them. During the match, Batista did the old blade job on himself as he wanted to add a bit of realism to the contest when he was not supposed to bleed at all. The world champion probably forgot or just didn't care that WWE had fully embraced the PG era by that point, and a blade job was a big no-no. According to Batista, the WWE chairman fined him an astonishing $100,000, while he was expecting to get fined somewhere in the ballpark of $25,000. Batista was clearly upset with that hefty fine, and yeah, he would ultimately leave the company in the middle of 2010. And finally, number 1, the curtain call. I mean, how can we not mention this? Let's just recap for those who don't know what we're talking about. It was mid-1996. WWE Superstars Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were all set to leave for WCW. On May 19th, the duo appeared in their last WWE show at the legendary Madison Square Garden. Scott Hall took on Triple H in one of the matches that night, while the main event was Shawn Michaels against Kevin Nash inside of a steel cage. These on-screen rivals were the best of friends behind the scenes. We all know that now, but back then, kayfabe was alive and well. Anywho, after the main event, Triple H and Scott Hall, well, they came out, and all 4 men hugged it out in the ring. Needless to say, Vince McMahon was not happy at all that his good guys and his bad guys suddenly got all chummy out in front of the fans. He couldn't punish Hall and Nash. They were gone. Michaels, meantime, was the WWE Champion and company golden boy, and, well, he didn't suffer for his actions either. In the end, it was Triple H who was punished, and his mega push canceled. The game was scheduled to win the 1996 King of the Ring, and that win was eventually given to Stone Cold Steve Austin, which of course led to the famous Austin 316 promo that helped launch the Texas Rattlesnake to superstardom. One has to wonder, what would have been had Triple H won the King of the Ring as he was originally supposed to? That's our list this time around. Make sure to give us the old thumbs up there. Make sure to also subscribe to the SK Wrestling YouTube channel for more content like this, plus exclusive interviews and more.